What's going on, y'all? It is the daimyo of Yapahogakyo, and I am joined by my finest, most esteemed seniors of the court of Yapology.
Hello, Heatwave, Hell World sympathizers. May you all survive this terrible week as best as we are.
Today we're picking our butt. Am I right, chat? I don't really have anything funny to say. I think like those two were like, Marcel said something funny and I panicked.
It's kind of messed up that we do that to you. Actually, my bad, guy.
Which one of you is if I'm the daimyo of the village hidden in the Yap? Which one of you is the Hokage? The Yap.
I'm more like the joke Kage. Ooh. That's your boy.
Ambu Yapops.
Call me Naruto the way I did not pass the tuning exams.
Henny's here.
Hey everyone, Henny here, back with another podcast episode, I guess.
Yeah.
That'll be how my regular intro goes.
But yeah.
This is a regular.
Yeah.
I actually do wonder, like, it's probably tricks by like a country mile, but I do wonder, like, after him, who our most regular guest is.
Terry, of course. Come on.
Yeah, I literally was gonna say.
I don't know. I feel like it's close. I feel like once you like, there's like Tricks, sizable gap. Everyone else, I do think.
It's because Tricks keeps filling in for me.
Real.
Yeah, and Terry did like 3 episodes, kind of in 2 months for us as well. So like back in like BT16 format, where he was just like, guys, vaccine armor is not even that good, as like a shtick for a little bit.
Yeah, now that Marcy is not playing anymore, we need someone that tops. So we've invited our most.
I mean, I am playing.
Yeah, but like, post results
this year.
33. You got the 33 lockdown, right?
I won Vanguard Day yesterday. That's something, right?
Wait, yeah, don't you literally have a Vanguard top this year?
This year,
like
yes.
From the side quest arc, like the guy did not stop
this
topping.
Year. Man,
yeah, like he did that like earlier this summer.
It's because you know, you're only as good as your most recent result, which means he's washed because he bubbled. Most recent Vanguard.
Like, so basically in Vanguard, like every set release or I think it's every set release, they have this thing which is like Vanguard Day, which is basically like an OTS. It's just like a not Star Regional, but like, well, if you know what an OTS is in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's basically like an OTS event. It's just basically like a let's play with something on the line, and like the winner gets a mat. So I won yesterday.
Mats are cool.
Yeah, I've won like 2 or 3 Vanguard days. So no flex. I can check the over trigger pretty well.
Speaking of guy who wins mats though, Henny's here and has multiple second place finishes. Before we're getting started, Hardstuck second place.
Do you get mats for second place?
I think mats are. You don't. It's just the trophy card.
Oh, he just gets.
Dude, I'm baiting you so bad. That's
he just
so
gets
funny.
Yeah, you said that with confidence.
So you get a metal Greymon, right?
No.
What, also the uncut sheets.
The uncut sheet. Thank you.
For top 4. Those are for top 4.
He already had one of those.
Is the other promos.
You guys like?
I mean,
this
one was the new one from the new.
Oh, you have one of each now.
Season.
Have they told you?
Yeah, but they only ship it after the official release, so I have to wait for it.
Wow. Exclusive. Henny is literally the only guy who has one of each.
Yeah.
No,
Moment.
Literally,
right?
Kwon-Ming.
Does he have one as well?
Yeah, he got second place at Paris and he won this one.
Wait, I thought that was Paris at the end of last year.
No,
Paris
it was earlier this year.
No, it was the one
this year is so long.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually just getting. I'm actually getting mocked by Kwon-Ming. He's like he got second place and now he won the finals and I'm back-to-back second places. So yeah, it is what it is, guys.
Unfortunate. There is actually one guy in Europe with a statistically slightly better average, but he has no commentary reps and no appearances on hit European Digimon podcast Misplay for Game, which you can support for free if you're watching on Twitch by using Twitch Prime. It may come free with your Amazon student if you're a student, or if you're just the main bill payer on Amazon Prime, you can turn the overlay blue for free and take money away from a billionaire and give it to these 4 chuds on screen right now. Or if you're on YouTube, you can hit the join button and help funnel money into our pockets so we can keep on doing the podcast more regularly. Every week that you think about not clicking the join button takes away 1 Marcio appearance. We're desperately trying to wrangle him away.
No. Well, he's got a really good workers union. KBeeDS for the people. So it's like, without that, we can't keep him on. It's like we have to pay the reps and stuff. It's complicated.
His lawyer Jambo.
Well, the only thing that means that we have a chance of even keeping the talent around it's just because he was like on side quest mode. When he gets back to Digimon, Marcio is going to be the best player in Europe. That'll be that.
Oh, but then that means that I have to play Digimon.
Yeah, but you know,
it might not have
TS
to be
nearly
very
over. DAT's coming out plants and some good. Listen, I was thinking about this before. They made an entire wave. Chat. Go back to the last episode where Marcy was talking about how much he liked DATS because they were his guys, and even though Beat Break and DATS are like the same deck, DATS was lame. Or sorry, DATS was cool and Beat Break was lame. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was thinking about this before. Old Misplay heads, no, because we had I think it was like one of our earliest Bocos. We
gotta
did
be
like
real specific about earliest Boco.
yeah, not the one where I didn't say a lot. Not that one. That's important. No, we talked about like the this was before like we even had like a consistent like the TV show seasons decks, or like we didn't have as many of the like. This was back when it was like I'm playing red X antibody, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. We were still early days, and one of the things on the show was Marcia put I think a take most people in hindsight would agree with, and they're not trying to be contrarian.
Which one? Because I'm a prophet.
Well, no, it's that you think Rise Greymon Mog's Metal Greymon, and that's your guy. And it's like, well, if they finally put Rise in a deck Marcia would like to play instead of Shine, which has been kind of, well, not anyone here's cup of tea for a little while.
I think Shine is cool. I
he's cool on a poster board and not on a trading card. But it is what it is. Anyway, I just thought it was neat that they could finally give KBeeDS his Rise Greymon plus a green deck.
The only remotely interesting thing about that is like I think about Rosemon and I go, damn, I can burn 4 security. And then what?
Welcome, Marcio, to the channel full of people who fucking love burning security. It is our favorite thing. This bottom row has spent many years doing that. I'm
like, okay, so I've messed around with like Henny's list, like Henny's, you know, the Bacchus toolbox, whatever it gets called these days, TS slop, siren control, you know, like whatever.
Siren control
is kind of clean. Plants versus zombies, I think,
and
is
it's
also
like
kind of
Henny on the ship, like listening to the sirens, as he gets like second place again. But I was like, damn, this deck is like kind of cool. If only I had like the dual cards. And so now I tricked myself into like caring a little bit about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
26.
It was like all right, yeah, you know, Time Stranger, yeah, Bacchus, Ceres, Marcio's gonna get the green vegetation, and they're kind of like on first glance, kind of mid. He's like, you know, they made all the other Time Strangers good. They made my ones kind of lame. I guess I'm quitting. And now it's just like, they do what now? I mean, I guess.
Should they ask you about your orientation? We stand a respectful king.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm from these parts. My passport is blue.
I don't know, man. I think I should suspend my opponent's Digimon and Tamers all the time.
It seems fair. Genuinely.
Like,
say it's only fair. You know, how long has Yellow been burning security for the love of the game? Fucking let a green deck do something. But yeah, let's talk. So Marcius, guys, is coming back. BT26 coming out soon. What was it, like 3 weeks from this podcast? Something like that.
That's not soon at all.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks for pre-release.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks for pre-release, and then regular release is September 4th.
I was gonna say the set is fully revealed now. That's why I said soon. Yeah, that's usually when it's like kicking off.
Because it's so weird that like the set's revealed and we're just like, yep, 3 weeks, a whole month.
Well, you know, by the time this episode hits your podcatcher of choice, chat, you're going to be listening and being like, I swear I just saw a whole set review video. Like somebody just uploaded an hour of going like, this rookie good, this rookie bad. I don't play Atmon that much. I don't know
why is the Bagra egg in this set? Question mark.
But you'll have heard it here first if you caught us live. So, we're gonna be talking some 26 and talking some events too, because we don't get the gang on without having a chance to cover some stuff.
Henny, so as the Mr. TS himself, right?
Sure. Yes.
You know.
He is the Time Stranger.
Henny Congalan, that's like old news. Like, come on, like move on. He's clearly like the TS guy now. How do we feel about the TS slop deck going into 26?
I mean, I think all the support it got looks really good. Of course,
so just gonna keep winning events, huh? Or getting second place.
I don't know. It really depends on how the format shapes. But yeah, I have to say, I wasn't expecting that much of Ceres and Bacchus in the current environment, and then I managed to do well with it. So I think with the dual cards going to be a bit better as well. Also, just green vegetation box or TS vegetation box also looks quite interesting. Of course, because the new Conan tamer is a green 3-cost tamer, so Togemon cheats it out, and it's also vegetation. So there's actually a lot of cool stuff you can do.
Leopardmon Cook? Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Also, Ceres dual card playing Pomomon is just like, it's really funny.
Yeah, the first time I saw somebody do that, I realized we were in for a different kind of format than I thought.
Is that deck, is it kind of like the what was it called? The Gankumon control deck? Do you remember that fuck ass deck with like the Floodgate rookies and the medieval?
Oh, the BT11 one where you just made like fully invincible solo.
Oh, Ganku X, and you just
the turtle build, right?
The Ganku turtle. Thank you. Holy shit. So wait, is this deck that we're talking about? Is this just like Ganku turtle, but because it's green, I'll think that it's cool, but in reality, it's just under the cringe pile.
So it does also have like one instance of like you're not immune to option cards unless you splash in enough bugs to also theoretically drop Tyrant next to it. There is like a giant, very intended hole in the box. There's a really, really big option-shaped keyhole.
Homeros and the gang have never had a card that they've used to get around options, guys. That's not.
No, surely not. No.
That's not been a factor once. I wouldn't worry about it.
They don't have the cornstarch slurry, bro. They don't know.
And also just like Sirenmon for protection, if they use option removal. It's like, oh, you could be funny. Oh, what if I use X program to just nuke the board? But then one Siren just says, I'll protect everything that's Iliad traded. So it's going to be interesting to see.
I think it's quite funny that like the Bacchus deck and like the Ceresmon, like it wasn't rated like that high at the release of 25 / like, well, I guess like EX12, the metagame, like the deck got positioned a little bit better. But like when it was 25 with Beelstar duel, right?
Yeah.
People are like, oh my god, Beelstar's so cool, and oh my god, Volcanismon, and then like Ceres and Bacchus and Beat Break, right? And then like and even the Appmon deck, like, and then like Ceres Bacchus just got to kind of like chill and kind of stay low key, and then eventually like a certain someone was like, hold up, this Sirenmon card is pretty good.
I also think. Oh yeah. I also think in general, the main changer was Susanomon EX12 for the deck, because even when BT25 just got released, I was like, oh yeah, why would I play Ceres with Minerva in a deck? Because it's like anti-synergy.
Anti-synergy, yeah.
Yeah, I give everything the suspended protection, but then I reboot everything anyway, so why would I play these two together in a deck? And it was only after Susanomon got released where it's like, well, if my Minerva board isn't surviving, then what the hell can I do to make it survive? And then we go back to Ceres. And Siren was already played. I think at least I tried the list from Billy that he played at the end of 25 for Siren. I gave a friend of the channel, Rich Life TCG, some traumatic experience during playtesting. I always joke about it. It's really funny. So yeah, that's that was the inspiration for the list, to say the least. But I'll probably go into it when I get to filming the deck profile. But I really finalized the list maybe like 3 or 4 days before the event, because I was still at the week of the event. I was like, let me revisit this TS box idea, but more centered around Ceres Bacchus to help the TB matchup.
The week of the Event League Classic came out, Henny. I saw you on Discord, brother.
Yeah,
I know where the time was.
Yeah.
We'll hide the list so that the deck profile is the scoop for sure. That way nobody gets the clicks.
Guys, he was playing Bacchus, Ceres, Siren. He was playing Aegon. He was playing Homeros. He was playing Dankanan. He was also playing. Get the scoop here first.
I already posted the picture on Twitter. It's okay. I farmed my interactions.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Smart.
Dude, talking to you about that list before you actually got to use it was so fun. It's like that I've decided to embrace the one-trick allegations. Like, it's crazy how that doesn't actually narrow it down as much as you would think. Especially coming off of the back of Rotherham, which was X2 drop. It's like surely you're not running it back on Gallant. again, and you've seen
No, that
the
was
vision.
Greece.
Was Greece in between Rotherham?
No.
Wait, no, Greece was after Rotherham.
No. It was Rotterdam, and then this one was the most recent one.
Yeah, like he was.
Sorry.
It was Greece, then Rotherham.
Sorry, no. Bristol. Thank you, Bristol. Okay.
Bristol was early this year, right?
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I got them confused.
Ah, yeah.
It was Bristol. Then you did the Odyssey. Then you came back.
Yes, exactly. I went to Greece to really absorb the culture, connect with the ancient Greek roots, and then I ran it back with TS.
Or just could have gone to the IMAX.
TVs out of here.
Just could have gone to the movies. Dude. You could have saved a lot of trips.
The halloumi's different in the UK. It doesn't hit the same. You got to go out there.
You tell me the Odeon doesn't do good Odyssey halloumi sticks?
No, you see the Odeon halloumi sticks is actually just the nacho cheese that they find at the bottom.
That was a very narrowcast joke. I just realized, folks who are not from the UK, the Odeon is the movie theater chain here.
God, man.
One of them. We got many.
We got a couple. Yeah.
They all cost way too much. And Cineworld.
It is what it is.
Dude, Cineworld is like when I really like want.
Cineworld Bolton's goated.
Yes, Cineworld.
Yeah,
Bolton,
that one kicks ass.
I want to not have anybody else in the theater. That's where I go.
That's where you guys saw Godzilla 2 years ago. Which was it? Godzilla -1 getting another screening?
No. We watched that one at we watched that at the View. We watched me and Emily watched the Odyssey in Bolton.
Yeah, big fan. I wouldn't know.
But then we went to a different cinema called The Light, which there's a few of them, and that's where we watched the Brand New Day.
Brand New Day.
Good movie.
Yeah, I ain't gonna spoil it, but I've seen it now too. Finally, after 3 weeks, it's a good Spider-Man movie, man.
Peter and the Punisher kiss.
Yeah, actually, the last 20 minutes is weirdly, it's a cameo from Robert Pattinson's Batman, and him and Spider-Man make out, and they're like, "War is over," starts playing. It's crazy.
And then James Gunn shows up with a silencer, like an actual gun with a silencer on it, and then he says, "The gun is reloaded."
That's stupid,
fellas.
Goku will return in Avengers Doomsday.
I was there.
I have some very strange, just something that is weird user interface stuff. We're gonna talk about regionals. That's a thing that we do. We usually show up, we talk about some regionals. We got a guy on that did well at a regional. First, we're gonna talk about OCE, which normally we would go over to our good friend of the show, well, friend of the scene and the general Digimon wider
and an animator
stuff.
Now.
Yeah. We usually go to DCG Nexus, but we're actually over on Digilab for this next one. Did you know that the stuff here just follows your mouse cursor?
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah, I just was only half in this conversation because I was playing with the background.
It was the same thing on that. Can I say it? No, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to say anything about other ways to play Digimon that do not include paper, but instead.
Yeah, good shout.
Good save. Bro, trying to get that Naruto cast.
100%. Instead, I'll use Minecraft terms. In the other biome, your cursor also it has the same effect.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because Metal Empire won a regional.
Yeah.
Infinity. If there was one person.
Yeah, I was gonna say a dude who likes to play machine and everything. The deck is cool. There's a whole deck profile, so we're not gonna. You guys can probably find it.
So I don't know if it's the nobody. Okay, this is gonna sound mean. Not that nobody cares about OCE, but OCE isn't popping like that. Anytime I look at OCE results, and I know maybe 4 people, and every single time it's a brand new top 16 or top 8. If it's not Dane, Infinity, maybe Rusty, I swear to God, it's a brand new group of people that I've never heard before.
There's starting to become some more consistent names. Ari has been pretty consistent. Digiburst has been pretty consistent. Alan was the red hybrid that cucked Dane.
Okay, I know that guy.
Spooks and Null as well, member of the Misplay Game Discord as well. So we're starting to get a couple more consistent names. It did obviously help that there was a lot of content creators that were present. Like on the cast, they actually had this one streamed, so they had a couple more eyes on it. But OCE obviously is also usually a smaller regional. I think this one was 123 players, so not majorly small compared to some other ones where they've been like sub triple digits. But 7 rounds as opposed
Paris
to.
has had worse. Paris has had double digit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Toulouse at 54 or something.
Big up. No, Bordeaux was the one.
Bordeaux, excuse me.
Yeah.
My bad, Toulouse. My bad, Toulouse. No friendly fire. I want to point something out really quick at the top of this. I think there's something, and I'd like to go back and study it one day, maybe when we have a whole season to look at. Maybe there's something to be said for the fact that decks that do really well on, I would say, popular to even middlingly popular streams of regionals get massively course corrected to being overly popular in the next event. Like it's a 180 swing. And I think part of that is I was surprised to see red hybrid toolbox decks being the second best represented archetype at an Australian regional.
I don't know how much of that is OCE just like red hybrid, because we saw it at Nats, I think, prior to Bristol, right? Like I think their Nats was prior to Bristol, so they've had representation in that region for a while.
Yeah, but there were more red hybrids than Glowing Dawn players, man.
Yeah, that is fair. That is also another one where I wonder what it's like for distribution, because we talk about like NA and some places being maybe priced out of Billstar, but I do wonder if because they have previously had like starter deck and other like weird distribution issues that have never hit like other regions. So I do wonder if that may also be just starter decks aren't as commonly available, or they just don't believe in it. It feels like Glowing Dawn, especially outside of NA, just doesn't convert as well.
It's not always the best converting deck, but it's usually up there.
Yeah, like it's not like Pasadena
5.
Where you got like 6 in top 16.
Yeah, that was a lot. Or Gen
obviously,
Con.
we'll talk about one that won in a little bit, but like I just don't think it's as. I think it might just be a regional thing. Like Digilab obviously is really good for that as well, being able to check like based on regions and kind of get to see kind of like what the representation split kind of looks like.
Yeah, that's Digilab.
Mallow. Mallow being weighted highly. I wonder why. But yeah, cool regional. It was 1 day Swiss 7 rounds, so no wait, that can't be right. 8 and 2.
Top cut as well, right?
Okay, yeah,
Probably.
that was a top cut, and that was a top cut, yeah, because you can't go 8 and 2 in a 7-round regional. Disregard. But yeah, TB massively represented. Who could have seen it coming?
It's straightforward in a way that I think means you can become the guy in your testing circle that practices it the most, and you could feasibly expect it to have a couple matchups where you can kind of dedicate less of your brain to. It's just sort of, it checks some things out right in a way that like a lot of decks this format don't. Like there are some exceptions, like you can kind of just, if you're playing like Omnimon Ultra-S, that's another one of those decks where it's like some of your matchups just don't matter. You just, I will, what's this Warcraft, yes, me lord, you just go hit the little rock until you win the game. Like that's it. Exactly. Metal Empire, I would say, not one of those decks. It's one of those decks where it's like, you should watch the deck profile. You should go check it out. But the kind of top and bottom of this deck is that it's trying to build a board that puts your opponent in a bad foot because you're trying to play around guard, or you're trying to play around the egg, or trying to set up so that you can just push your damage as hard as possible. And then like
really
the interaction between Melga having decode and the inherit from Metal Greymon giving decode, plus all the protection effects, means you can kind of use your protection to expand your board. So it's like, it's a neat series of combos. Melga's a house, but like the deck pushes for like OTKs more often than not. So
and it's a non-standard OTK as well, so sometimes it's a little bit harder if you're on the other side of the board to kind of pass where, like, how close to getting lethal you are versus like a more traditional push out of raising stack deck.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like it's, because it's DNAing so much, because it's playing so many separate guys, and because even in that case, there's variability of like what it's hitting. Like the Andromon could not hit a 5, or sorry, could not hit a 4. The high Andromon could not hit the ace or the 5. There's like layers to how it plays, but it really, if you take anything from this, it's like the Melga's a beast. It gives you the time to get going, gives you the time to use your effects to stabilize and build a bigger board. And then the Thundermon, we're going to talk about these cards probably through the rest of the episode. But all of these ones that are like field specific, that are like main effect, reduce the cost by 2 and play something. All of those effects are just fantastic. If a deck has one of those, it's basically been bumped up kind of just one whole tier of viability, it feels like, which is important because in BT26, a deck some people don't think needs one is getting one. But yeah, very cool. Galactic getting second. I don't know. This is a misplay for game. If there's one thing we've talked about in the last 6 months, it's that we think this deck is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good showing for it this season. I think as soon as we saw the first top for it, it's now just been like in the same way that you would prep for a Bill Star, you prep your TB matchup, you need to know how to play into this deck.
Yeah.
If you can at all.
It's not quite like Ultra S and Toho Braves tier, like you just auto win some things, but as Marcio has said on this show like 101 times, part of why this deck is good is because its floor is so low. Like you can kind of just get in and know that like to a pretty significant degree, your turn 1 is going to look a certain way, your turn 2 is going to look a certain way, and it like represents a pace of gameplay that most decks don't keep up with. The lists have changed a little bit. I'm happy to see Fusion Eyes come back in because I think this card is deeply evil. But like, you know, it has interaction points in places that most people aren't ready to play around. And then like, yeah, the Xeno doesn't de-digivolve, but like the Xeno is basically the Hammer Spark out of security, the way that all the Beat Break Tamers are. So like that is a known quantity in terms of like how some decks just can't play through that kind of disruption. So the deck has lots of layers to make it really strong. It's very airtight, thematically appropriate.
No.
They did a good job at Bandai with that one.
Yeah, and Dupe as well. Like this deck is only going to get better, but this is, I think, the best placement we've seen for Dupe yet, right?
Yeah, for
Got
sure.
second at NA Regionals, right? I think Lance played it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? He is Jupitermon though.
Was that in EX12? Was that Gen Con?
I think it was Gen Con, yeah.
Let me
Did we actually cover Gen Con? Because like I feel like that is something that we would have caught.
That's funny to see how both Galatmon refugees got, one went to box, one went to Jupe.
He's cool, man. He's like,
and the pressure kept going.
You're right. Never mind.
Yeah, you just need another goggle hit to pick it up.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, still, nearly back-to-back regionals getting top 2 or top 3 is very, very impressive.
We've said on the show too that this is one of those decks that's like the guys that want to practice this deck kind of religiously.
What the hell is this card doing here?
Hey, it's good to have the blocker sometimes. It comes up.
Sure.
No, deadass though. The thing about this deck is it's like we said that like for a Jupiter player to really be sick at the game and perform on their deck, they basically had to, I think we used the word dedicate their life to the blade. I feel like this is just kind of like the closer we get to the end of a format, the more it's clear that the Jupitermon players have figured out the list that they need to be playing to get to that threshold. The Tamer lineups in this deck always make me laugh because it's just like everything is all about getting Aegiomon as many hits as possible. And the longer you watch these decks resolve over the course of a long day, the more you realize that the dude that like opened his third eye and figured out what the winning Uno hand was going to look like can do it.
I do really like the inclusion in this build that uses the Neptune and Vis Sanctuary to get the just like blocker on things when you don't find them in Ever. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, there's some strength. I mean, Neptune and Minervamon are like a known quantity duo value set. Like they've been good together since BT24. But letting Neptune get multiple unsuspends with something like Aegiochus Blue is even crazier. So people just don't. I think it's nice to have a tool that you can catch people out of control. It's weird too because obviously this plays so different than a regular TS toolbox deck with like Dan and Kanan effects. There are no Dan and Kanans in a lot of these topping Jupiter lists.
Yeah.
Because the deck just doesn't have time to commit its resources to option cards. Like, you know, I think the second place list from Gen Con is like it's not even a play set of boosts and what's it called? Field spells. Like
it's only 7
the deck doesn't need them.
There's only 7 rookies, but when Hiroko is doing double duty as a second,
she's
boost,
so good.
Yeah,
everyone's always like, when would Hiroko possibly be better than Asuna? And I'm like, in Jupiter, when you're cycling 4 of Elecmons and Lunamons, like you're cycling everything around over
especially
and over
as trash
again.
shape becomes a lot more
Yeah, it's
available.
just there's a lot of value to a hand rebuild that your opponent, especially in like the TV interactions, like they shrink your board off and then you go Hiroko and you start over. And in some cases, people just can't hang with that level of like contesting. It's strong. I think it's probably part of why these decks tend to do well when there are less Toho Braves, because it's not that they're dodging the matchup. It's that Toho Braves actually is generally not the most stoked to see a Jupiter player show up.
What card is promo card 226? Can we go on a website and figure out 26?
Promo card 226. Oh baby.
Can I just do
B-226? Yeah.
Wait, called shots before anyone.
Royal Base.
No, it's yellow. That is.
Has to be Royal.
That's the Atmon kid, the Music of the Heart kid. What's his name? Torajiro.
That's a crazy called shot.
I'll just say TS Patamon. I don't know.
Treadmill training. Not even close. Narrative run. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
Wait, what does it say 226 on?
That's his username.
Yeah, his username.
No. I know that.
I just typed in P dash.
Oh, 229.
That's 229. What the? Oh, you know what?
Sure.
It's because I have thingy on.
Surely it's Royal Base then, right?
Yeah, it has to. You know what? We're just gonna type in Royal Base. This will surely not cause. Yeah, there they are. P181.
Oh, emblem. The emblem.
230.
No.
Oh.
What the? It has to be one of these then, right? Because it's in this.
Use the other website. Use Card Dev. I think that one lets you do. The
wait,
numbers.
promo 226 is the missing one. Sorry, yeah, it goes from Digilab, which is 225, to Ryutaro's Liberator emblem, which is 227. There's like a weird missing spot.
That is very funny. Shout out to the Royal Base player who probably was doing this
got 13th
specifically to waste our time. Big dubs.
It's like the fancy way of putting 404. Couldn't find anything just with layers.
Showing up to a Pokemon event with then like regional like missing no as your username.
So I'm not going to another regional. It's not going to be something I have to worry about putting evil into the world. But I've had it on pretty good authority from a number of players who play this deck that I respect their opinions about it enough to listen to. Which is that Bees is basically like, if you play it correctly, a functionally unlosable Toho Braves matchup, because that deck just does not meaningfully put down enough damage every turn to stop playing around you healing twice per turn. Like you just kind of yellow hybrid control them to death. Not the most exciting game of Digimon, but apparently if you know what you're doing, it's functionally
How did they make
unlosable.
this deck lame? I'll never forgive Bandai. They made my deck lame.
Yeah,
but they
wild.
can make it really cool if you are. Is it pure of heart? I don't think it's pure of heart.
Is Tiger Vespamon the good ending or the bad ending? Like, how crazy is that?
If you're Tiger Vespamon and he does 1 damage a swing, yeah,
no,
like
not again,
dude. Dorogray is the funniest tech. Shame it didn't show up here, but I mean, 17th is basically what Johnny got, right? Bristol. 13th. Never mind. But yeah, that's funny. Shout out to one of the many funny usernames. We also had I will not get down paired again. We had
Big Mac.
Grandpa's ashes spreaded in a Macca's car park. We had there was one near the bottom. Shout out Guz. Black Freezer LeBron's James, aka Trevor You the Goat, who has previously placed very well, but 07 this time, unlucky. Shout out to OCE having very, very funny.
Old O2 drop.
Yeah. Speaking of O2 drop, thanks for tuning in to the Rotherham VODs. I know people were bitching they were up for ultimates, but if you use that one, you get to hear Henny actually, because I checked the live version. We did not adjust our microphone volumes correctly. So if you want the one where you can hear me and Henny, you should check the VOD of that.
I tried.
Yeah, you were dropping straight bars. Unfortunately, I'm Pepega.
Can we take a second? Let's do a little half detour here, because Jupitermon, the fact that we gave it 20 seconds, I think, isn't justifying what it's going to be. And in BT26, this deck changes.
Yep.
In a way that I think just sometimes even if a deck doesn't get crazy like significantly better, just the word of mouth is enough to make a deck represent in a different kind of way. And I think in BT26 Jupiter is kind of that deck, but it's like it's a like actual game. Well, there's two things. It's either a gameplay change, which means the deck is going to build very differently, and we're all going to see how that works out, or none of that matters, and that it's going to basically be stacks with like tax stuff, and I take your security, I pass you really low in memory over and over again. So, I think within the context of like a deck that people have already spent time getting pretty good at, into a format that nobody is like, because it kind of looks like the Wild West. Not the. We're gonna give our takes and stuff on that in a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but like BT26 is a format. Feels like the things we all are like expecting to be good could easily see some other stuff show up and be like, oh man, like I was not expecting. If you'd have told me, that we were gonna get a bunch of plants cards and that like a plant archetype was gonna show up in a big way, then I wouldn't have necessarily expected that, given that we just had the quote unquote plants set. So like, it seems like it's open season. Have you guys had a chance to look at any BT26 stuff? Anything that jumps out? Anything that's kind of like crazy for you guys?
I have read them all following the reveals. And one of the things that I want to get back to on the like big old TS discussion, what's going to be like into BT26. It's going to be interesting to see Jupiter, just the tribal version.
Yeah.
Because of course the dual card is really crazy, and Wrath mode having succession for all the Jupiters. It basically reads if you have BT24 Jupiter trash 2 security from your opponent mid combo while building up to Wrath mode, besides the damage that you're already doing.
Yeah.
Also, why does cross arts give an unsuspend? They have a warp option as well.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of crazy things with the deck. It's just going to be like, how are people going to build Jupiter to include all the cards? Because you kind of want the warp. Maybe the warp is kind of bait, but if you use it with Duncannon, I'm pretty sure you're still allowed to do the attack, even though you lose the tamer. The effect still remains.
Yeah, that is my understanding.
Huh?
Yeah, because it's resolving the effect fully.
Yeah, so like you tap Duncannon to use an option, and if you use the Thunder Emperor Awakens, you slot it underneath an Adramon to evo into Jupe.
Oh,
but then
yes,
the Duncannon second part of the Clarion attack is still pending.
Yeah.
So that's like a pretty sick finisher. And if you attack and you Alec-Bond grab security, you Tsunomon into Wrath mode, you still get the extra when digivolving effect of succession. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this card's actually good or if it's just bait.
That's the thing, is the trade-off going to be worth not, like, because we were talking about the tamer ratios before, like it feels like you kind of just have to have like a divine sense of like, I'm going to need 1, 1, 2, 3, 3.
It is a homerous out of security. I will say that. Yeah,
it can be, but there are lots of things that give you homeroses.
I think it's really funny that it's like, you haven't finished Time Stranger. Don't worry about why your tamer is evolving into into Jupiter.
Were you excited about the game coming out on Nintendo Switch and haven't finished this 45-ish hour JRPG? That is on you. You've been playing too much Digimon Up. Why don't you Digimon up them hours in the hit video game Digimon Time Stranger?
I think like the thing with like losing your tamer, I don't think like super matters, because then like on the next like line of play, you'll just like you just get another one out, right? Just like I'll just find the second Dankadan. It's so easy. Guys, what do we think about Kunlun? That card is what was the thing that Kurova was saying? Something about...
he thinks it's not he doesn't think it's all that, essentially.
It's hard for Kunlun to have come out right after Homeros as like your secret rare BT, like, Time Stranger tamer. Like, he seems fine.
I think it's good. It has a good effect, but not enough option cards to really make it work right now. So I think it's kind of in a position where if you want to play Shambhala decks, it's a good pickup, but it might not be necessary in the builds for TB and SW right now, at least.
Yeah, I think people are to a degree assessing them as Shambhala archetypes and not what each individual one is doing. I think Kunlun is like, I think it's good playing a Sanmyojin arrival just at the end of turn for the love of the game. That's fine. But like, the challenge can be getting it played down. Is it worth using Kaguya to play this to then play Sanmyojin? Like, where are the trade-offs? I think in Sai Warriors, this card is absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think it's completely insane. I think the fact that this card turns like your Digicross level 5s that you can play from the field spell going into security into like the second combo extender, and what's her name? Sanzomon can play Kunlun instead of playing out the 5. So there's tons of points of proceeding where, like, you know, not for nothing, like picking up your security and playing a tamer is 50% of why Jupiter has been a relevant deck for this whole time. And this deck gets to do it by paying way less memory, because the thing about Sayu Warriors is just that they are like the next level evolution of Liberator emblem decks. So for me, I think Kunlun like changes how that deck gets played in a big way. Whether it's that good in Toho Braves, I'm willing to let somebody who's spent 100 million hours on it like Kurova decide that. But I also think like
I will say
the homie Jambo said it's best of 1 versus best of 3.
I was gonna say I'm advocating for Jambo, which we don't do that. We don't like to do that. But I think it's just like a best of 1, best of 3 thing. Like a card that is like as powerful. I like Kunlun in a vacuum is a very powerful card. Like in best of 1, you just don't have as many chances to like see the card put in work. But in the best of 3, it's like, the games where you see the Kunlun versus the games where you don't see will be like a massive like difference.
Yeah,
I think it's super interesting because it's another thing that, especially like coming from a Toho Brave standpoint, the floor for that deck and the ceiling were already so high that something like this is another thing that will change the mirror. Like we saw it so much at Rotterdam that the mirrors and top cut was basically decided by how quickly Samyojin came down, and like a games where a Kunlun might have been hit early or whatever that would then give you the opportunity to then actually start playing Samyojin without having to like actually pay a cost for it or find time for it and give up combo. I think this will be another thing that solves those problems whilst also technically being the root of another like, I couldn't get my Kunlun fast enough, so I actually had to pay for Samyojin in the mirror, whereas they were getting this free every turn. So I think he becomes the next like important pain point for that deck, which is why I can see like people like Kurova not being as sold on him. But whereas you compare it to, like you said, Sayu Warriors, where the floor was, despite getting second at a regional, is very much lower.
Well, the difference is also in how they play. Like Sayu Warriors end with one of the Saneketsu on the field, and a Saneketsu Digimon is, because of the lore of Shambhala, always a Tente Hachibusu. So like if you don't have one of those, you can't combo Kunlun effectively. But Kunlun is not like Dankanen. He plays the option no matter how much you're passing. If you're passing basically nothing, that's great. He'll pay 3 for nothing, whatever, it doesn't matter. If a dual card comes out later, he will ignore that too. It doesn't, like, this card is, he's not paying memory the same way Dan Kanan, or not. Like, they're doing it in different styles. But the difference with TB is that TB spends turns not always set on 6s. Sometimes it's playing on turn, off turn. And that just does not take place in the Sayu Warriors deck. Guard on the 5 matters a lot on the Chohakaimon. The 6s basically are all designed to stick. Like, if you're using low passes to let Natesamon come on the field and combo off, and then have Kunlun go off next to that, you're like, oh, well, good luck trying to find my point of interaction here. It's different, though, because it is, at the end of the day, another thing you have to squeeze in. I'll give this a specific shout out, because I know a couple people have been talking about this as like, execute matters a lot in how Toho Braves does its damage, because it has a push for game with execute rush. This deck, Sayu Warriors did not regularly have access to that because it could get rush, but it didn't always have the execute trigger to go off. Kunlun linearly improves the use of Seiten Gokumon. I've been kind of mean to that card over the last 6 months, since we saw it fully revealed, because it doesn't have the tags it needs to be really good in this deck. But Kunlun turns it into essentially a rush for game, but also a board-threatening menace, which you're not paying for. And he's accelerating assembly value. So like, there's just lots of little things that this card does that fixes some of the problems I was having with. I mean, it's a control deck, so you're never going to hate more on memory than as opposed to not having memory. But it's just, I think really, like, I know there's some people are like, without sideboards, does best of 1 versus best of 3 change a ton of stuff? And I'm like, I get your point, but like, if you're playing 12 games of best of 1 to top a regional versus 7 rounds of best of 3, the variation is even there, right? Like, in some cases, it's 12 games versus 14 games. In some versions, it's playing almost twice the amount of Digimon in a day. So like, I think it's pretty tough to write it off already, is where I'm at, especially when we don't know where this is going next.
And if it doesn't make it into TB, that probably speaks to the quality of the TB cards that launched rather than the quality of Kunlun.
Or just like the the decks are more different, and that like if I have to read another dude saying what does my Shambhala deck do, I'll kill myself.
Hey, Shambhala did like a Shambhala deck did well at something like top 32.
Dude, like what does my Shambhala deck do?
Oh, true. My bad.
Yeah,
I don't know. Kunlun's neat. I don't think it will cost as much money as Susanamon if that's what people are worried about.
I think Chronomon's pretty cool. I think that deck does something.
That deck just like in a vacuum, you go, my exact perfect like 3, 4, 5, 6 is like really good. And then what? What if you don't get like the good cards? You know, like it's still a TS deck, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to substitute the cards with like shamans, which is the Aegeomon line.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, worst case you have Aegeo choose Holy. So, Matt,
that's still pretty good.
Are the low levels all Iliad tagged as well? Like I could play this with Merva and start comboing.
But Iliad
or Minerva even.
Iliad.
It's like if you're either Iliad or Titan, right?
So. Yeah, exactly. So I think there's like parts of this where even though it's a one wave deck, and like I've had this conversation with Harry about 1,000,000 times, that like it really does suck that Hyokomon is your only level 3. So if you're going to assemble correctly, you have to either find a level 3 or a duplicate level 7. But like
assembly for
I guess like Aegeocus Red, right? He gains rush and then you just slap holy mode on top or something like that.
Yeah, if you Digivolve, you could do it that way too. But then like then there's differences of like, well, doesn't what's it called? Doesn't Giant Slayer let you attack straight away? Is he rush reboot blocker?
No, it's Cherubi.
The Cherubi lets you do the attack. Pardon, sorry. Every time the Cherubi resolves,
I was trying to expand like more on like what Henny was saying, where like, well, you have like a good set of cards, so like what you pad out the rest of the deck with, and like Aegeomons is like the more like obvious thing, I suppose. So then like, just using like a Chronomon, like an Aegeocus like bottom end to
pad out your a TS low end can't be bad in
Aegeocus Dark is also such a bozo card. Like we didn't even talk about him in the context of Jupiter.
Bad, Tom.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, not supposed to leak anything. I just think if you didn't rate the card, you should try reading it.
It does have more text than you think it does. I think they did this card horrendously dirty by putting it next to Holy. I think that was so unfair to Aegeocusmon Dark, because this card is cool, but they put it, and not even that they put it next to Aegeocus Holy, they put Aegeocus Holy first in the reveal. So you read that and went, what the fuck? And you read Dark and you go, I mean, it's there. Like, if they'd done them on 2 different days, or even just put Dark first, people might have actually read all the text on the card and going, well, it doesn't say immunity to everything. Your opponent owes you $15. Like, it's fine.
But it does say assembly. And if that doesn't raise a red flag for people who are playing Digimon right now, I don't know how to help them.
Yeah.
A level 5 with assembly.
I saw V-Passion did V-Passion's been doing some like cool videos and stuff recently. So Digimon YouTube watch. V-Passion's been doing some fun little like infographic videos. You're doing some market watchy stuff. He's been putting out these videos that are like V-Passion Pod, and I think it's kind of just like an excuse to talk about like concepts and things he likes in his decks. It's been good videos so far. But he made a point of talking about how like if you haven't read the full set and you're just kind of vibes checking your Aegeocus Dark and like what it would do for your current list, the thing people aren't giving a shit about is that the new Jupiter can play the Aegeocus Dark for 1. So if you have any way to combo from that, you now have a level 5 that can end of turn be dual carded over and stuff. There's like components to these cards where you're like, oh, I see what they were trying to do. But the minute you start sequencing them together, you go, oh, right, I get it. But if you're just like, if your interaction points for Digimon, as so many, like that's the other thing. I think when you want to check the pulse a community can have on a card, you might often make the mistake of opening a Discord server or checking a tweet reply or opening a message on Facebook and seeing somebody be like, mid, not interesting. You're like, but these people don't play Digimon. They yap all day. to them, the Digimon Reveals channel is an anime, and that's what they talk about every week. They're like, guys, did you read the new chapter of One Piece? And did you see the Digimon reveal? They don't play the game. So for me, I think it's something people ought to give themselves another look at, especially Digimon. Oh my god.
So like, real quick, I want to talk about uncommons because like, uncommon cards, they don't get a lot of love.
Yeah.
But let's go to BT26 and look at the uncommons, right?
Okay.
Bro missed Eden week. Bro missed Eden week, and now he wants to.
No. These are.
Okay. I know.
Crazy DM card right there.
This is like as legally powerful as
so many good cards in this list
so
alone.
Let's look at the Andromon real quick.
That Andromon.
He's so good.
Dude, this card, I was saying it like in the card back from locals. This card was the worst card to read whilst waking up.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? Like,
it does what?
Digimon Twitter and the reveals guy. What is wrong with you? How dare you release this card right as you start doing the end game stuff? When we're like, all right, here's the time skip, here's the Giant Slayer, here's like, Shota and like Mizono. And you're like, oh yeah, here's Andromon and Hi Andromon. From when you break into the lab. And everyone's like, yo, this is a crazy CS card. And I've just woken up. I've just started reading the card. And my ass glosses over CS. Because why have I had to read the letter C? This, I just assumed everyone was stupid and it said TS. And I read the whole thing and went, yeah, this is a pretty good TS card. And then people are like, no, bro, look, it's the end of the end of the Hagurumon starter line. I'm like, why are we doing this now? And you had all set to release this card, and you waited until the time that it made the most sense for it to be a TS card and released random CS support. Why?
It's better than random CS support. This card's ridiculous. Mercy's point that the uncommons on this page are about as legally strong as you can make an uncommon.
This card could have been released alongside the Bargra card that is completely alone. Why was it, as soon as it was thematically appropriate for them to release a TS Andromon and High Andromon, they went,
you were seeing it as, and I'm talking out of my ass because I don't remember how the week went because I was busy. But you're seeing it as the thing that follows the Giant Slayer, and not the thing that precedes the Wind Guardians and Nature Spirits card, which is an important distinction to make. Where they're like, "Fuck, guys, we have 8 cards that don't fit in. Here you go."
Yeah,
I'm looking at like the Andromon, and I was like, okay, like this guy's kind of neat. Like you saw like conceptualizing it, and
he's so sick.
You get to play out a Tamer, which is like pretty good, and then like you get to evolve for free, which is pretty good. And that's like already like kind of evolving for free a whole bunch, and then like you have like a good ESS, and you're like, okay, how do we tie all of this up together with a rare, which is the High Andromon? I kind of baited you because like, yeah, we need the rares. Now you scroll past it. There it is, and then like I was just like, so there's no way, right? There's just like no way. So you get to like chill with like your Revu blocker, and he's kind of chill, and he's like unaffected. Oh, but like it used to be the bad unaffected because like, man, unaffected by Digimon and no options. Oh, but then he has your unaffected guy has a protection, and then like oh, okay, so this guy then reverts back into your 5, which then if you go reread the 5, on the third read you realize that it's an all turns, and then like you can just start thinking like, damn, what are some like CS6s are like kind of fucked up on the opponent's turn, right? Like good Alphamon.
There's a lot of them.
Alphamon, like fuck off, man. Alphamon is like so sleeper. Do better. You have like
Dynasmon was the one I was messing with.
Diana.
Diana was what I was thinking.
Diana's crazy too.
Justimon Blitzarm, that's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know. The other thing is like if you tie this with what's his name, Takumi Aiba, you can like, or not Takumi, Ami, you can like go straight to a 7 as well, which is messed up. But, like you can make Examon for 0. I don't know.
She's your turn at least.
Yeah. But like the quirk is that like I mean,
you can make Omni on the opponent's turn. That's kind of funny.
It's almost like they've said that there's there was additional content released for Digimon Storytime Stranger that might have to do with some of these characters. But well, yeah, listen, doesn't matter. I think it's funny. I don't think CS is going to be like a deck that everyone's going to play against a million times at a regional.
Nope.
But you're tripping if you don't think the Andromon is not enough of a promo custom nightmare card to fix a deck like this. Because it wasn't genuinely that terrible to start with. It just didn't have enough of a payoff. This is a payoff.
Do do we want to like talk about the bugs really quick and just kind of get it out of the way?
I would love to, Marcio. I have the most nuclear terrible bugs take. Are you ready? I think bugs actually, honest to God, the problem bugs is going to face is that the green players have a different, more interesting thing to play. But I genuinely think bugs has enough of the tools it needs to right now to hardwall half the damn decks that people are playing at the minute. Like, dare I say, it would not be super difficult for a bug player to build a wall too tall for a Toho Brave to climb over. That is my hot take.
Dubs.
Counter meta is back, baby. Get ready for Bug Blitz.
Dubs.
Henny, how do we feel about bugs?
Well, some of them have TS traits, so they can't be that bad, right?
Thank you, Henny. Thank you for your insightful, input. That my bad. I didn't read all the tags, so because they're TS, they're automatically good. Thank you.
It's funny, man. There's just a lot of good tools that they gave them. The Evo from Source effect is crazy, right? Like that's just a ridiculous effect.
Here's Jupiter. It doesn't matter. You're not getting over my fucking stack, mate.
Yeah, sure.
So like, if I was a bit of a bug pioneer, some might have said that I, played that deck for a while and played all kinds of random bullshit in the deck. So let's keep it a buck, right? They solved my issue that the deck had, which is like, the deck just didn't fucking deal damage. The deck just did not deal damage whatsoever. And you were like stalling and like eventually you might win. Like it was great against the Numemon players because like you just got to torture them.
Yeah, they had no choice but to run into the wall.
Yeah, that was cool. And like I look at the Quagga and I'm like, okay, we get a little bit more board expansion. That's kind of neat. And like Alliance Piercing Vortex. Sorry, the Grand Quagga. Grand Quagga. Yeah. I'm like, okay, this guy's kind of neat. He's like proactive. We like proactive. Even like the bottom end, right? Like you look at the Morphomon, like the Morphomon's decent. The Quagga's also decent. Because like it's like when the Digimon wins a battle, so like you can swing a security then evolve for like practically nothing. So like you have the incentive to like go out of raising.
I think this inherit on the Morphomon and the Quaggamon is just crazy, man.
And then like the Okua is like also decent. Like Tyrant having Tamer interaction is pretty good. And like
a burn is a burn as well.
But it's the shitty burn. Why can't they just give the bug deck some good shit unironically? Like, why couldn't they just give the Grand Gale, like, I won the battle against security, too? Why is this the shitty old one?
I don't think you want to give bugs that.
Oh, God forbid we play against something kind of different again. King of Knights is in the chat, like, we can minus 48,000 to Herc. Or a Tyrant. It's not sticking around
Tom,
forever.
I'll be real with you. I've seen... like the Callus plus Mars burn 3 on your opponent's turn. I don't think we should give that to bugs. I'll be so for real.
I get it, but like bugs is so like it doesn't get around the fact that they still want your opponent to do something with you, whereas like the Bears deck can just make floodgates. Like that's if the Tyrant cards were all floodgates as well, then I think the comparison's the same.
I think it's different because they don't make floodgate, they make wall.
Yeah, but
and like the Bears aren't also just stupid walls that just become nightmares for you.
Not like I do agree with Tom that it's fine. Like I should be able to like it's bugs, like
I just don't understand why this is the only damn deck in the set that got a muzzle thrown on it.
It's basically like the way to conceptualize it is like you go into Grand Quagga, you alliance 2 checks, you win the battle. That's like another burn. Like you basically deal 3 damage, put the opponent on 2, which is basically like you have to play the game or you die next turn, right? That's something that like bugs didn't have before. But then I look at the Tyrant, and then most people will be like, wow, Marcio, you love Tyrant. Aren't you excited for Tyrant? It patched like your weakness of like your option cards. And you're not wrong. But like in what fucking world am I assembling like on time for this asshole? Because like your first Tyrant can already play this guy out for reduced cost. So it's like, oh my God, guys, the twin Tyrants. 9/11, right? But then,
hey, chat, don't clip that one. That wasn't the best
no,
work
that
you've
was
ever
a good
done.
one.
But like, how in my like next to nothing draw power deck, right? Like I don't cycle that quickly. How am I getting 4 Larva, Insectoid, or Titans, by the way, or Titans, in the drop to drop, like, because you ideally you swing Granku, you play out a guy, that's your 2 damage, and then you trigger your inherits, and then you go into Tyrant for reduced cost.
So
and then you play something out.
The actual answer.
How am I getting this guy out? Like,
so there's two answers for this. Basically, one, you got to remember, this one doesn't evolve over 6s, which is of note, which is very like.
Yeah.
The idea
because he assembles and evolves the stack next to him. Like the thing they want you to do is they want you to promote like a Tentomon or a Kabuterimon or some bullshit, and they want you to pay 8 memory for Tyrant or for what's his name, Tyrant Kabuterimon assemble. They want him to combo off and then use your 2 evolve me inherits to turn the second stack into a level 6. And they want you to basically go like, look at all the tempo I just made. Good luck breaking my immune board.
Right? He evolves for 3 off of an Insectoid. So like you play
it
out a
is better
5.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think like I'm complaining about the fact that it has assembly, which I like assembly. Assembly is kind of neat. It kind of gives me something to do when like my first like Tyrant gets cleared.
That's
like,
actually the answer.
Yeah, you get recursion.
It's like you're not supposed to use him as your combo finisher.
No.
It's either like you start it from promote or like, okay, congratulations, you dismantled the first bug. I can now slam this dickhead for the rest of the game.
So the second thing that this gets you to do, right, is that like he's a level 6 because Tyrant is a 6, not a 7. Don't do the thing. Nobody do the thing. So like against like, let's say that like you're really struggling with like, I don't know, Tohu Braves. And then the opponent like tries to string you, and then you get to make Paladin. And that's like kind of funny. That's kind of it. Like
you just gimp the Paladin player.
Oh, you think Paladin?
Or you get the Toho Brave player, you're like, thanks for the OTK shithead.
Or you're just going to Merciful, and then like because the new Tyrant has the start of main, it's like kind of neat.
So one thing I have also seen is the you know, fucking these Wormmons. I think they were using promo Wormmon, but like this Wormmon end of turn DNA. So in theory, you can make.
What are we DNAing into?
With
green and green.
You can make ultimate Chaosmon.
What's my second guy?
Plutomon.
Nobody's playing that in Titans, right? Titans has so many other problems that's the card that's not.
Yeah, no. This I actually saw it in a Titans context first.
Okay.
Of you do Pluto Slam, Tyrant, and then you make ultimate Chaosmon.
So what I will say is like Tyrant just kind of goes back to doing the thing that it does best, which is like you pick one deck that you don't want to lose to, and like you randomly just have like a really good matchup into it. Off of the top of my head, I don't really see how BLStar gets to push past my 2 giant bugs
at all.
So we moved the enemy from Numemon players to BLStarmon players.
You also randomly collateral like beat break as well, which is really
you have
fun.
enough Tamer hate to stop them comboing.
Yeah, enough Tamer hate, and also if they try and do the start of main taunt on anything, like they try and taunt a little shitter next to it, you just go, Tyrant Kabuterimon, I'm gonna suspend the thing that you taunted.
But you're already doing that with the old Tentomon, like the start of main.
Yeah, it's just
it's just a bigger guy.
Yeah, it's really funny.
So those were the green things that I was excited about, I guess. Like Rosemon is cool. I like Rosemon burst mode. That card's cool.
Well, you can do it on your opponent's turn as well.
Yeah, you can do it on the opponent's turn. That's pretty cool. I like burning.
The Rosemon is crazy.
This Rosemon is crazy.
I think this card's really cool. So thank you for my green is kind of cool next set. But you know, Henny's gonna cook me the Bacchus deck, right? And then I'm gonna get my invite when everybody else already has theirs. So I'll be like 28th, and there'll be enough pass downs that I get to say that I got my invite with Henny He's very own brew of dual Ceres and Bacchus. I'm waiting.
You can be like Jambo and only top if a PXP list is involved.
Yeah, exactly. Jambo could never cook his own shit.
He's a pilot, bro.
Hey, speaking of Jambo lists, me and Jambo have been talking about DM stuff for like 3 days. You guys want my 5-minute spiel on DM so that people can stop asking us about it? Have you guys had this? If this is something people don't want to know, we will skip it.
Have you ever played a DM deck in your life?
I played against them. And I think we should check the flight logs for Vademon expeditiously.
Oh shit, yes, of course. And he was there. He was like one of the day zero patients of Vade Control. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, I made a video on it against Purple Hybrid. And then I forgot it existed. Also, I played against it with Sakuya for a video.
That's how you can tell that we're all fans. We're all fans of
we
each
talked
other's
about
content.
Yeah,
it's in the logs.
In the flight logs.
Like, I'm not imagining this, guys. Like, I'm not a schizo.
I think we did, yeah. And I played against as well during like the Gallimon Regionals run in finals, so I have a bit of experience against it.
Vade is not fucking touching Gallimon. Like,
no, too old.
That's just a Swift 2-0. But the Bloom, it was so funny. Like, everybody that was just like, finally, Blends are going to get something. We're so back. And then you read through the cards.
Yeah, when I saw the Reapermon was DM tagged, I was like, oh no, bro. That means we're not getting... I have a terrible feeling that EX13 Gankumon is going to be a DM card. Like, I think they're going to keep doing DM card final bosses and stuff.
Yeah, but that is very funny because when they were like, oh, EX13, we're going to support all the decks they're in. And everyone's like, how the fuck do you make a Ganku deck that isn't still just Jesmon unless it's Ganku and all the sisters and the black slots are... all the white slots are actually just the sisters? Oh, this is a funny outcome.
DM, yeah. Anyway, the TLDR for the DM stuff, right? It's really straightforward. The Bloomlordmon is an unsuspending OTK deck. The Reapermon is borderline pack filler that I don't have a particularly high amount of interest in engaging with. And the Giromon is the card that turns DM Millenniumon into like a combo deck that wins the game. So like the combination of all of these three things means that like if you find any of... because those three things that I listed, by the way, are all really annoying decks to play against in Digimon. They're not fun. They don't promote interesting gameplay. I'm either unsuspending 5 times with Bloomlord and OTKing you. I'm either doing a solitaire turn that takes 20 minutes and burns you for 4 and then swings at the Rush Chimera. Like, there's just a million things these decks now do that don't play with the other guy. So that's, I guess, what they've decided. Like, V1 and V2 were cringe because they were Ultra S. And then they were like, hold my beer. I'm going to make every other one of these damn decks cringe as well.
I think as well when they weren't comboing, like, yeah, Vademon is like I think it plays with you a little too much.
Gun to your head. Do you guys know what the second V2 level 6 is? What the one they want us to be using?
Yes.
Version 1 is Shinmonze, right?
And Blitzgreymon.
Yeah, I wasn't including the Greymon Garurumon.
Yeah.
No, because Shinmonze is the only one I remember.
That's
the
correct.
Line?
Congratulations, dude. The problem with version 2 as a gimmick is that it's actually completely and totally unsupported. And they didn't want to hook the deck up with basically any toys. So the whole issue it has is that it's just a level 5 toolbox deck. And one of the real problems they ended up with was that you could just put Metal Mamemon over the V1 Mamemon. So when they wanted you to play V2, it was just play it in V1. So Vademon is one of the most homeless Digimon cards ever because they couldn't commit to giving him something unique. He just does this.
It would have just made Ebamon, right? I guess.
Yeah, it would have been Ebamon.
Wait, hold on. Is it Ver.2?
Yeah,
Ver.2.
You have to put the square bracket. I've got it on screen. I can't believe I passed the multiple choice question because all 4 answers were incorrect.
More version 2s.
No, they never finished it up because this was in
Isn't the Skull Greymon a version 2?
That's version 3.
He is, but he's a level 5. So he's like not going to evolve over.
I mean, not a 6 anyway, but
yeah.
Oh, and
most of the things people use him for are just because he's an odd color extra for Chimera. It's so scuffed, bro. For the fact that this is the DM deck that is by far the most consistently topping version, the fact that it just didn't get anything else to play with is crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah, there it is, Skull Greymon. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't show up the first time.
But like the thing is that like Metal Mame just like thrives in like a metagame where people are like slamming shit. And the Vademon is just like really good at like bouncing tamers. So like if your deck needs a tamer, the problem is that like, you don't have a 6, so you just kind of put slop on top of them because you do have a good chunk of drop power.
Yeah, you can put some Sai Warriors on top of that joint.
Yeah, you literally put the Sai Warriors on top of it and you have yourself like a cook, I guess. Chimera though, kind of Chimera style.
Chimera I think is genuinely better because of Giromon and Millenni. Like I think the combination of those two things together makes the difference. But like I'm not gonna evolve Chimeramon into fucking Reapermon. You know what I mean? That card is just, it does not spark joy.
Speaking of Chimeramon, can't you also be on the BT8 one thanks to Bloom? Like, you just shit out.
I suppose you could.
Like,
that would be
instead of
quirky.
Megadramon eating it to unsuspend, if you're on Protein, like, you swing, Protein, unsuspend, swing. That's 2 bodies. Chimera, go on top of it with something.
Yeah, you could opt to try and press the deck like that, but like I think that's more cards than just having the free unsuspend, free delay, free bullshit Bloom Lord.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I don't. How
don't get me wrong; it'll almost certainly be the way to build it. I've been talking. Oh, and the other thing about what's it called? V4 is that it's got one of the strongest eggs of the DM versions. Tanemon is memory gain. Which, you know, if you're
that's
gonna
weird for green. It's usually reduction. I'm surprised it's memory gain.
Well, you know, to whatever degree they decided to make the DM decks consistent with color, that's a separate thing. But yeah, Tanemon is when a DM V4 trait Digimon is played, trash its bottom face down source and gain a memory. So, doing all that, probably that does make the Chimera DNA thing better, because you can just re-enable your inherits and stuff with DNAs. A thing that's still in the game.
Oh, the eggs.
Chimera also got a buff because of Digi-Seabass.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, I hate that card.
Yeah,
what, Digi-Seabass?
Bro,
Why?
Scramble has that much text for a reason.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Digi-Seabass?
The fact that they just... Okay.
It needs it.
Every copy of Digi-Seabass is 2 copies of Vegemon, which in itself is an extra copy of Vademon. So every Digi-Seabass that you see is 3 Vademon. This card is so egregious, and also because you can have a Digimon. If you clear them, it comes back. If you don't clear them, they make more of them. It's actually like some you know, like the Chinese Kaizo Plants vs Zombies levels. That's what you're looking at. It just gets so out of hand so quickly, and it's not even like a bad, like, the main effect is like decent card economy. It's not like it's a bad card plus the start. It could have been a vanilla and then had the start of main.
It's also the only thing in DM archetype that free plays your tamer.
Yeah, it does that as well. It could,
which is just even more stupid.
Yes, so it means the analog youths can tap.
Yep.
The analog youths can tap and then immediately unsuspend on the start of turn timing. This card is so frustrating. It genuinely could have read vanilla main set to delay and the start of turn would carry the card enough, but it does use good card things. Scramble has that much text for. I never thought I would be defending the generic 2-cost delays, but here we are. Scramble had the right amount of text. It has all the correct text. Did you see Bass was a fucking mistake?
It's okay. One day the deck will top, and then people will have to learn what they do. Yeah. I genuinely, if I was gonna predict any component of it, not just being VM toolbox, I think the cheater mode kind of LARPing that the deck gets to do of just playing all the draw cards like ISM and Protein and Digi-Seabass means that you can kind of play like Chimera good shit, Millennia good shit with whatever 6s and junk options and fillers you want. And as we have talked about 100 times, there are white tamer cards, so you can play like EPSs and stuff if that comes up later too. I don't know. It's one more. The thing about BT26 is it feels like it's full of like odd, weird shit anti-meta decks. Like it's just like things they were like, this hasn't been good in a while. I wonder what happens if we give it a card.
It is exceedingly funny.
Oh, and then Training Manual. That's the other thing. Sorry, Training Manual breaks all of them. Training Manual is now the reason that you would build a DM deck because it's like better. It's a mem boost with a training stuck to it. But it's like 300 times better than a training because it's without paying the cost, not reducing the cost. So you can. There's no floodgate that meaningfully interacts with this effect other than something that evolves by effect 8. Also, by not being reduced the cost, it means that they could actually print it as an all turns because you're not spending memory on your opponent's turn, which has additional knock-on consequences. Yeah. Awful. It's very good. I don't know. I don't think DM's gonna top straight out the rip.
The thing is, like, we don't have a way to play out, like, cheat out, like, the delays. Like, we don't have, like, how all of the pendulum decks got, like, something that, like, lets you play stuff for, like, cost reduced by 2.
Yeah, that is true. That is the one gap it's still missing, which is
like I actually have to hard manual spend like a turn playing out a delay, and then my opponent will go, Homros, Stankanen, Asuna, Inori, like, you know.
That is fair. I mean, the deck starts pretty passively anyway, so something like Rookie Training cast one of these delays can't be like that bad an opener, because it's not like DM is a deck that promotes on turn 2 anyway. It's always kind of been like a set 2 pass for a couple of turns.
The V3 deck can go pretty aggro like that because they basically don't pay for anything because their egg is just a training.
Like
so
for most
V3,
of them, it's slower.
Yeah. Most of them will be like the Vade. Again, I think the Vademon stuff will probably still be the best way to play the damn deck because it's just like they didn't really put enough stuff on that card to stop it doing that.
Andrew, how do you feel about Monimon? Monimon egg entry. Isn't Monimon like really funny?
I think this is another card that could have maybe had a little less text on it. I think genuinely this should have trashed one card, and then this card would have been undisputably actually the best card for like egg for the deck. I actually don't know if this is that much better than Cupid personally.
What?
Yeah.
Getting one memory on an on-delete can't be worse than reducing 2 memory, right? Like, unless I'm missing...
That requires you to... It has to trash 2 Digivolution cards. This means you have to swing a 4. Think about...
Yeah, but you're swinging a Skull Knightmon, right?
Yeah, a Skull Knightmon that costs 3 to Evo over all of your rookies. So I'm spending 3 to
the
spend...
load choke. Think about the load choke.
It's also, again, it's also like 1 less memory on the net too, right? So it still breaks even at the worst case scenario.
Not necessarily.
I'm so glad we brought Henny on today because like these are just like
Henny, how's Bogger looking?
Like this is just like the most like cope takes on like the most like dog shit decks ever. And this guy's like, yum. I can't wait to play more Jupiter.
Have you guys got a Bagger guy? Have you got a Bagger guy in the PXP household?
Ramir, right?
Oh wait, you're muted. Wait, what?
I think you're muted.
Oh, I had to cough. Oops. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't say anything. I was just nodding. No, Romir plays Barbara. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have sworn you have. It's fine. My main problem is you have to swing a 4. And if you think about a lot of the like, oh, I got high rolled by Bragger games, they go rookie U and they swing and they load under the U and they go like +2. Like that's my main problem is you have to swing a 4 to get your free U. You're now on a 4, which means your DP is higher, which means you're less likely to crash over a rookie and die. So you swing a 4 that might make it back to you. You have no sources under the Tamer you free played, and we have no options that are tagged. So you're potentially getting a draw 1 off of like the rookie being cast on your turn, and then you have no egg. It does not read to me right now as a card that meaningfully improves the speed of the deck, mostly because we get so much value out of promote rookie. So by it being trash 2 sources, I think it's kind of a little bunk. But obviously, I'm going to try it as a 4 of as soon as it comes out and see if it makes any changes. But from the way I read it, I think trash 2 is incredibly tone deaf. So that is my current opinion of Monimon. I think that card is bunk.
Downplaying.
Yeah,
no,
it's also being designed for future shit that we don't know about, right? That's the most important part.
As a standalone random one-of that made me now have to wait patiently for every single reveal for the rest of the set because, like, I mean, there must be something I'm missing, and I'm missing that they hate me specifically. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is another one of those cards that is tagged Bagra, which makes the card worse than whatever it's supposed to be used for. If this is a Dark Knight card, by it being tagged Bagra, they've made the card worse.
Wasn't there like we spoke about something having a turn skip last week or last episode?
Oh, the plant's turn skip.
What was the plan? The plan.
So Palmon BT14. Hey Andrew, go ahead and pull up Petermon, who just got his 2nd card ever. Petermon is a green and yellow level 4 for Wind Guardians, and he's a fairy.
Oh, side note,
yellow green.
He might be yellow green. My bad, Slam.
Side note, the Hoodiemon is so funny, just being like not being CS.
So good for nature spirits, bro. Holy moly. Yeah. So Petermon is you on a start of your opponent's turn suspend one of their guys. You can turn skip people if you have Palmon BT14s. One Palmon skips them back into your turn.
Suspending one of your Digimon.
No.
Yeah, you can do the Pomu, yeah.
No, Andrew, sorry. Thank you. Yes, it's tap the Pomu, but it's not on. I don't know why the description doesn't have started main on Digimon Card app.
Yeah,
it's also started main. That's why I was tripped up. So you can just basically make a little loop where Pomu, Petermon, and any number of Palmons can just keep stealing memory over and over again. So you can have an endless turn.
Well, I look forward to seeing that on our good friend PXP Entertainment. As I hear, I want like you to alternate between the metal pipe sound and Vine Boom, preferably on every turn skip, please.
And not a lot of people care about this either, but these are very good Wind Guardian cards. Like the Tinkermon being a chain evolution effect is legitimately very strong with all the other stuff that's playing out. Like,
holy shit! Wind Guardians got support?
Yeah, both of these cards are Wind Guardian.
Oh.
And this card lets you start doing the chain faster. So like if you like promote the 4, you can like use this thing to combo off. And then Petermon is the same. Petermon is just like consistency boost level 4. Plus the yellow color is like kind of conceptually interesting because it means it opens up DNA stuff.
I guess I haven't like played Wind Guardian since we got Giant Meat.
Well, it's barrier too, which is cool.
That barrier is helpful.
So I don't
know. You can trigger barrier with Sarnia, right? Like if you have to like die or whatever.
Yeah, so you can you basically go wide for free, which is
cool.
You
go wide for free.
I'm into it. I don't want to do. We'll save some of the rest of the yapping because I want to get back to talking about the last regional because we mentioned Rotterdam, but we didn't talk about Rotterdam. We'll want to get back to that one. I know we haven't talked about Titans. You're probably going to get a video from Andrew. Dantemon is what it is. It's Omni for Atmon. Don't play the real deck.
Oh my god, we know the guy in second place. Damn, we got clout, guys. I love being friends with good players.
How long was Rotterdam? Was it all one day or was it 2 days?
No, it was 2 days.
Yeah, that's what
it was 8 rounds Swiss and then top 16 or top 8 if you're some random bloke.
Some dude who misses his round 1. So let's hack this out, right? Because unlike Australia, where Toho Braves was the deck to play, Toho Braves, according to the like data that has been submitted, I think basically is like, I mean, we still need more people to submit their stuff.
So we need more people for DCG Nexus. So if you
and Digilab too.
No, Digilab has the full report.
I think it only has 13 players.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
It has Top Cut. It just doesn't have.
Weird. There was a ping in that server that implied that they had everything, but no, never mind.
Yeah, there was only 2 Toho Braves in the Top Cut, which is interesting to me because it kind of backs up. We said this on Misplay 2 weeks ago, Henny, that we said Toho Braves was one of the fakest tier 1 decks that's been good in a little while. And like, yeah, Susanomon is kind of a bozo that does everything, but like Hoodiemon would just eat this deck's ass.
It's one of those decks that if you really, really need your top, take it. If you really, really, really want an uncut sheet, you should look elsewhere.
No, but this is the thing, right? Like, I think even in terms of decks that are like good at getting you a top, I think you have to justify to yourself why you haven't been playing Glowing Dawn Beat Break stuff.
Not American.
But it does okay everywhere else too. Maybe not first places all the time.
I don't mean first places. I just don't like.
It's weird, man. Do people not care? Cards are good.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we as a like testing group from locals talked about was compared to Rotterdam, where a lot of people were on TB. I think a lot of people were expecting TB, and a lot of the like the high tier players decided to play decks that specifically do well into TB, and kind of figure that with the amount of decks that counter TB, it will be less represented. So that's made it very interesting. I was talking about it with Yuxo from OmniX because we faced during Swiss. And he was on Miotis.
He was on Miotis,
yeah, we were both on basically give me TB decks.
Yeah.
Whereas I throughout the tournament didn't face a single TB, and like I actively made the Glowing Dawn matchup and Bielstar matchup worse by going Bacchasaurus because I wanted a good TB matchup. So it was like, unfortunate. But that's I think also a big reason why TB just didn't do. Or didn't perform as dominant as it did during the previous regional.
It's also, I think, a product of like we mentioned before that like sometimes the decks that show up, like you said, like some things are hunting TB because the players don't think to bring them. I think it's a product of like end of format stuff too. The more refined the lists get, the more things change. Even the TB list, if we want to look at the first place list that we have acquired thanks to a source that we will not disclose, we know there's Garukomons in it. And it's like the longer the game goes on, the more things stay the same. Ukomon, you don't care if you bought Dex's E-Pulses. You don't care if you bought Dex's his what's it called? Glowing Dawn Mem Boosts. The messed up part of Ukomon is we used to joke that Mem Boosts can now find option cards. But the real freaky part is that Ukomon can now find option cards. And watching this deck resolve Ukomons is like, it's like the next level past that where you're like, okay, something like, is this the point where they'll finally shoot the little dickhead in the head? Because it's just like, if he's played here, there's nowhere he won't go. Except for like, I don't know, Royal Knights.
For Kwon-Ming, I saw, because I also saw both his deck profile videos on YouTube. Because like one of the Gary Gaming guys does the deck profile and the content, and he was on. Yeah, I think he changed like 2 cards from Paris where he got second place.
Yeah,
but he just stuck with the identity of how he built his deck with like, oh, the advantage that Uko brings, especially into slower decks in the current format, is just really, really good. And if you're forced to go second because people respect Ukomon, then you just go Ukomon E-Pulse because it's still a wide option, so who cares?
Yeah.
And you basically diminish the off turn that you would have originally. Now I was talking about it with my brother. It's funny because if they do Ukomon E-Pulse, play out a Tamer, you go Ravemon, rip their hand. That's pretty funny next time. Yeah, props to him. I was talking about it with him as well, like the nature of the deck and also our matchup specifically, where it's like he was very confident in the matchup because we played it during Swiss, and then for Top Cut, I just had very slow openers, which is not uncommon for TS because you explode like throughout the mid game. But it was really difficult to contest Ukomon sometimes on board, and he could just get free value and cycle his deck, gain sources under his Tamer if he had the When Moving Gecko as the second rookie in the back, which is really difficult to deal with. Especially the amount of start of main phase Tamers he has. It's like even if I put him to 3, which normally they would have a memory setter, he just goes to 5 because he has 2 start of main phase Tamers.
It is kind of crazy. I was going to say, like, the jamming doesn't seem like something that matters all that much in this build, like compared to the format, because you get big enough off of the thing. But I guess it was just to have another like Hammer Spark.
It's the memory, yeah, for sure.
I think that's like the main sort of like issue with like the TS deck is that when you build for like as much consistency as you possibly can, right? Like you're playing like 12 searchers, right? The Flora, the Alec, and the Tapir. And then like your 4s are like exactly like Kiwi and Agumon. Like you just don't have the early game like pop like level 3 or early game like -2 KDP kind of effect to punish like early like Ukomon swing. So then like the only ways you have to contest them is like by just dropping a 6, and it's like that's not super worth it.
I think the most optimal thing I was able to do to out a Uko board was have Agumon in the back.
Yeah.
And then he would promote the Ukomon, and I was able to go, okay, promote Agumon, when moving, play out Dunkanon, and then Evo Daramon, suspend his Ukomon, then Dunkanon attack into the Ukomon and get the effect from Daramon. But even then, because it's specifically Ukomon that he played, if he has a rookie in the back, the next turn, he's just able to go out. And because I have to pass on Daramon plus another rookie, it's like the freest Habakiri board out, or just any Mirror Summon online to clear the board. So it's really difficult to answer the early tempo. And yes, not having the free Evo level 3 to like contest board, what we used to run before is a bit... It makes it. There are a lot of different aspects that made the beat break matches specifically worse in this build. So it was funny because we both had to play Galacti in top 4, and he finished very quickly. So I already knew, all right, if I win this match against Galacti, I have to face against beat break, and I'm not sure if I'm able to like. I might squeak out 1 win, but I'm not sure if I'm able to contest this fast opener 2 games in the best of 3.
So did you have Patrick or did you have Fish?
Patrick.
Right.
I think the other thing that I noticed about specifically like the TS build is that like all of the effects like in your level 6 pool are like deletion effects. We don't have like anything like you kind of just had to like you make your deck better into like the overall metagame, but against like some more like rogue picks or whatever, things that like want to be deleted, you don't really have like a choice to like not give them a deletion. You could maybe try to like suspend it and ignore it, but like you don't have like a Neptune, for example, to just like bottom deck it.
There's some weird shit you can do with like Diana strip the sources and then it's sourceless for Venusmon, right? But like that basically
that still doesn't remove it.
That's like extremely. That's like a response only effect.
It was like you just like to make the deck better into like TB, which is like more populated. You have to concede like the ability to have like non-deletion forms of removal, like bottom decking or even like returning to hand.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean that's also the reason I think the Marsmon and the Dianamon in this deck specifically, they were basically the flex Olympus slots.
Mm-hmm.
But I chose Diana for Volk and
yeah, it's very good.
And like the other toolbox decks, and Marsmon was there for Galacti and Reboot.
Yeah, pretty much like the unaffected Chunguses.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a bit more widespread, and I was mainly just focusing. If I play against one of the niche decks, I just have to like outpilot the matchup and just know the matchup a bit better. For example, if I'm against Millenniumon, I kind of just go immune Ceres board, and I don't think they're able to push through if I have a Diana next to it, or just did like a Valder line or whatever. So it's kind of just trying to navigate those board states where you don't really care about not having those kinds of removal.
You just do your best to like play around them.
Yeah, for example.
There was a 5th place Medusa. Would we like to talk about that deck? Because we've not spoken about one of those yet.
What is it to talk about Medusa, man?
I mean, it's the winner from Paris. It's Unkindled one.
Yeah, it's.
I spoke with him during Paris as well, and also during this regionals. It was fun seeing him again, and he was just like, yeah. One of the things I heard was like, yeah, give me TB, because everyone kind of was like, yeah, I won't lose against TB.
It's true.
And then he ran into Galactimon, so it was like, yeah, it is what it is. He did have a fun story where during his top 16 he played against Volk, and he checked Congo and was like, all right, now my level 5 just trashes a card from security. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, that's just a bird now.
Yeah,
cards can be added.
Medusa's Medusa. It's so good.
I'm trying to think, is there any other unique
There was TommyNT as well.
Yeah, it's a Nokia build with Island, which is kind of cute. Or sorry, not Island, Our Courage. It's like the one that did well in Mexico last format.
So this player faced against Thomas in the first Top Cut round, and Thomas, like it was 1-1 going into, and then we had the game 3, and I just looked Thomas in the eye, and he was like, he just shook his head, and I knew, okay, this man bricked. So it was like, yeah. Usually it's like, oh, it's kind of fine if you match the tempo because you just shoot everything down with BL Star anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you brick, you brick. Happens to the best of us. So
happens to Thomas a lot.
Yeah.
If it's gonna happen to one guy, it's Thomas.
That's Rich Life. That's the homie.
Glad that he's free of the shackles that held him down.
There's a Millenniumon left, I think, of unique stuff in here.
Really? In the big 2-6?
Yeah.
I think it's the guy from Grand Dukes. He played Millie in Paris as well. So
that's the Joe.
The Millie stand.
Yeah. Pretty. This one, I think it was like the Raremon's cute. The Ramon Dividramon just like for extra consistency. It was one of the Asian players that started putting everyone on 3-3-3-3 rather than leaning in one direction or the other. It just gave you like the most things to play through, because realistically, once you see like 1 or 2 of the Slam Chimeras, you've seen enough of them, but it just gives you a little bit more and the Chimera to be able to play through like Ruin. So yeah, this is pretty standard. I do like the extra insulating pieces like random Digivolve first.
Deletion is really good.
Yeah,
like Sasano.
The Ramon, the Dividramon's cool, and then the WGD as well. Just to give you like an extra chance to float is cool. Yeah.
Millennium is an interesting deck to me. I mean, it's kudos for going on a run, but I think this is one of those decks where it feels like it's getting collateraled more right now by people teching for Toho Braves than I've seen a deck be teched for in a while. Like maybe even Well, it's like even more than like when Medusa was like the diff. Like it feels kind of wild.
I think it benefits from Medusa not being as popular for no good reason as well. Like there's no reason that Medusa couldn't be as popular. I think it's new toy syndrome or people being
it doesn't have the coolest what's it called, Glowing Dawn matchup.
I guess also with Galacti being so popular as well, like Galacti resurging.
Oh yeah, that's
can't be good for the deck.
The thing about like Medusa is like you go, damn, I can play through like all these things, but my memory is like so tight and I'm playing on 0. I sure hope a tamer doesn't come out of security and steal turn.
Chain my one memory that I was gonna need. Yeah.
Or on a 0. Time. Like sometimes you're just a 0.
I'm fully willing to admit it too. It's 50. Like the experience I had getting into Glowing Dawn games is because I was on Medusa at the time. So for me, it will always be the deck that Hammer Spark sacks you, and like that's just how it is.
Yeah, and you specifically will find it more than anyone else.
I went to church to pray for it.
Yeah, I like the Wicked God Descents. I think it's going to be a kind of like mandatory inclusion as the game goes forward, and they're happy to put silence in red. I think having interruptive float is really important for this deck. Admittedly, it's not like Moon does collateral removal, so like it's, you know, they mug you but return your shoes after.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, or like the guy that like hacks into your Discord account and then like
he DMs all your friends.
DMs you and then is like, here's how I got into your account. You should upgrade your 2FA. I bought you a subscription to LastPass or something. Like is that kind of thing. It doesn't give you a lot, but it's better than nothing. When they print a Moon that does like actual removal outside of the funny hand rip and killer tamer, I think WGD becomes so good for this deck.
Yeah. And it's, you know, the deck's not had 6 months yet with that. Since its first promo, it's not gone 6 months without getting a promo. So I think Bandai like this deck a lot and they want it to stay relevant. So I don't know. I wouldn't lose hope if it's having a bad time right now. It's only ever one wave of Wonder Swan Justimon support away from being good again.
It really is one of those decks that you can roll out of bed and just hope.
I feel like that's just about everything we've not covered. There's I say one thing I thought was interesting immediately following. Somebody had sent me a couple of the lists because I've been talking with some Volk players that there is a Volk list that didn't play Blimp, which is a little bit more like how the format started for that deck. I think Volcanismon is 40 solved cards and then a little bit of flex fun stuff. So it not necessarily, I don't think, changes the like whole pace of the game and like how you would build to play around it. Whether or not you are playing Blimpmons. But it is neat. One thing I do think Volt gets out of BT26 is half those giant tamers, or the giant robot tamers, are like just draw one, trash one effects or defensive effects for Volt. Like Koroi is like your sideways Volcanismons can block again, quote unquote. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where this deck goes next. I can't imagine it'll have the best Bacchus Ceres experience. That sounds like a lesson in getting yourself tormented for 30 minutes. But hey, that's, well, you know, BT26 is an unsolved format.
I think you might end up seeing that you, like, obviously, yeah, we have a high count of Dankanan, but you might find that maybe they're on like they're on Yuki kind of
Canons,
Ganon Yuki. Yeah. Like you might just be like the, all right, I'm gonna cast Tidal Stream. Cyremon to protect. All right, I'm going to cast Tidal Stream. And you know what? For my third trick, I'm going to cast Tidal Stream. Please pick up your board.
I mean, genuinely. The other thing is Toragomon still finds any option in the game. So like there's still layers to this where like they'll just have an unsearchable card they kill you with, and that's why the deck seems to sneak its way through top cuts so well. It's not a coincidence they're doing all these Congo turns so consistently. It's because their searcher finds it, which is weird.
And
nobody's searcher ever found it before this.
Meramon is so good for draw as well.
Only in between theater that bot decks. The rest is just straight up card
everything
draw
is addition
or searchable.
Yeah, so good. Well, fam, I think that was a pretty non-succinct wrap-up of the tournaments we had to cover for the last bit of the EX12. There is Madrid soon, I believe.
It is this weekend. It is currently firing. The stream is for Dragon Ball. So that's why, you know, we're doing this instead of yapping on some official Bandai card games.
Anyone want to feel brave and put a prediction down for what wins Madrid?
That EX12, right?
Yeah.
Give me a Bill Star. I think Mickey Mouse has some stuff to
He's got one in, kid's got one in him.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. I think one of the decks I think if you look at the data, it just keeps showing up in bigger and bigger numbers is Galacticmon. I think either Galactic is finally going to get its dub, or I think the much more entertaining version of events is that some Bears player goes on the run of his life and wins a whole regional on Bears because he faces 4 Galacties.
I mean, there was 2 in Top Cut last Spanish event. Like one of the Galacties won Swiss, so he just needs to, I guess, not have both of them trundle round 1.
I guess what I'm saying is, I think after all the change that has come to Digimon, it would be funny if the green deck beats the black deck again. If the green deck that suspends and swings goes and beats the black blocker. You guys got a prediction, Henny or Marcia?
Henny can go first.
Yeah, just I kind of the thing with the current format I have, it's like you have Glowing Dawn, which is really good, but then like if Galactic gets to a solid game plan, it's pretty good. Muskets is also pretty good, but it gets stomped by Galactic.
Mm-hmm.
But Galactic can lose against some other things or against itself, because BT11 Vemmon is one of the worst cards ever printed. But you need to play him. Volk feels kind of like the weird one out, but let's see. What if I just say TV? Does that work? Just go like one last act of terrorism. Do I believe in it?
I can see the vision.
I just say TV. Why not? I don't think necessarily, but would be funny if it manages to win an event still.
Even before it gets its nice new toys. All right, Marcy, what are you thinking, man?
I think somebody was like, "Oh my God, Henny He is so sexy and he mogged Rotterdam." So Bacchasaurus, baby, because it's the best green deck. In fact, they're going to be like, damn, he was playing not enough Bacchasaurus mods. It's going to be like 4/4, and then like, I don't know, man. Like,
it's Volderarm Turbo.
No. They'll cut a Volder arm, right? Because they'll be like, don't need it. But then they'll see it more because then it's only a 1/0, right? And then they'll put in like Neptune or something. I don't know.
HPD.
Is SW doing well in tournaments, says our chat. Chat, it's doing aight. It
has a second place. It has a second place win. It
did as legally well as it could possibly do, considering how much.
I couldn't get a win because then I would have gotten a clip out of that. So it got a second place.
It got a second place, but then you watch the deck profile and it's like the dude has the full like rice hat. He was like, he was
ready.
For the
he
day.
was a warrior for those Sayu warriors.
Yeah, he was one of the scribes that follows around an MC and charters all of their heroic deeds. That was him on his heroic deeds to second place.
He was Senzomon for Gokumon.
You're describing me when I show up to like Henny's house dressed up as like Sun Wukong for Halloween, and I'll be like, "How are we doing, fellow Chinese?"
Beautiful.
Or I got it. One of us can be Shao Xing and the other one can be Shu Baishe. How about that?
Well, everyone.
Any Journey to the West fans?
Yep.
Real ones know Henny is dressing up as Digimon's new producer for Halloween this year.
True.
But that's because Henny's been secretly designing the sets for like 3 weeks. So it's
yeah,
gonna be a busy Christmas if you like Gallantmon.
He prints cards and just goes, thoughts? Interesting reveal today. Thoughts?
Please give me like a tyrant with like sec +1. Oh, not even a tyrant, give me like a Herc with sec +1.
No, best thing I can do is Diaboromon starter deck.
So funny. We're gonna talk about that next week, man, because that shit's hilarious. I saw so many people crashing out.
Dude, that shit is so funny because it's like alright, they've done Succession.
People are so upset too. Like the Diaboromon copers have yet to wake up to the fact that it's gonna be Diaboromon's like clock of the end as a gimmick. Like they're not making it Diaboromon token spam. It's gonna be like alt win con starter deck.
It might be both.
Well, dual card, you know, they might make a Diaboromon duel.
It's clock of the end, and you have to dual card 4 times.
Listen, we can't get into this. We're coming up on our time for our allotted block.
If you want to hear crackhead predictions on what we think Diaboromon, we're gonna leak the entire contents of the Diaboromon starter deck for the bonus content. So if you want to see all of the
we have a game
reveals,
designer here with us.
Yeah, exactly. So Henny's like, they only had him on like a freelance contract. He doesn't give a shit about that being renewed. So he's gonna tell us everything he told Bandai to put in the game. And if you want to see that before all of the reveals eventually trickle out, you should become a champion tier or higher, so that way you can see that one whole month early. If you want to, I was going to say hear Henny's voice, but if you want to see captions that Henny sometimes puts on screen when people misplay on camera, where can they find you?
Yeah, the big one is PXP Entertainment on YouTube. I do the editing for the gameplay videos usually, also with the occasional deck profile sprinkled in. And on Twitter, of course. And yeah, for the Diaboromon starter deck, please be anticipated for the now I'd win and now I'd spam Gojo Diaboromon tokens.
Nah, I'd spam.
Dude, I was so sad I did not have my Among Us ones on me when we hung out. Next time I see you, I'll try and get you some of those because they're egregious.
I got a couple things to plug really fast.
Yes, sir.
We haven't shut it out in a little bit, but Andrew and Marcio and I are also in terms of the people who do things for Misplay for Game. We're also kind of the only people that post up results for the Greater Manchester scene, and you might know that account from MCRDTCG. You want to go on there and check that out. It's on Twitter. It's at MCRDTCG. No spaces, no funny punctuation. Some announcements are going to go up there. Also, consider joining the Misplay for Game Discord server. You can still find us on a Google search, but if it's easier for you, it's probably in the description of the video that you're watching. And hi, YouTube viewer. Yeah, click that out, check that out. And Nick, keep your eyes on the announcements channel over the next couple days. That'll be pretty sweet.
Yeah, we'll make it easier to find the podcast and other things that we're doing real soon.
Very soon.
Very
soon. Things we can't talk about. I also want to shout out my boy KBeeDS on the TikToks, because every week we talk about him, the number go up. It's crazy.
Bro doesn't
also been tweeting too. Marcio reply guy arc is back, which is fun.
I haven't been tweeting. I'm good at clips.
Good at clip. I'm sorry. That is a really good post.
Yeah, you know.
Me when I see my jungler build an item.
My Lee Sin, good at clips.
Good at clips.
That's what happened. He stared at the sun.
It's it's not even KBeeDS, right?
Yeah,
it's like KBeeDS underscore or some shit.
On TikTok?
I remembered from 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
doing good.
I mean, I can't have regular let me see, where's today's up? So like I've been fucking around with like post times, because like there's like a good like post window and then there's like a bad post window. So I think my good post window is between like 5 and 7. That's when like my numbers hit real good. And then if I don't post between 5 and 7, my number's not so good.
That'll happen. They don't teach you that in school, kid.
And when TikTok lets me back into the back end, you can also find us on
Misplay for Game Pod.
Yeah, we haven't posted in a while. We post podcast clips, so the egregious stuff we say is on here. Shout outs also TCG Berlin. Shout outs for holding it down. We love scenes where people be the backbone of their scenes, and you can be the backbone of our support structure by becoming a champion tier, so you can hear us yap offline about Diaboromon for the timely video that will make no sense from an SEO standpoint by the time it hits public in a month.
He's so funny though.
It was excellent to be doing the podcast again. Hopefully we'll be back.
Should be next week.
Hopefully next week, unless Dota. It will be a Saturday or not at all, because the international finals are on.
Yeah,
so my ass will be awake egregiously early on Sunday. Yeah. Fellas, should we do the thing that people have waited an unspecified amount of time for?
Dude, I love doing this part.
All right. Well, I guess I'll get us out of here.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. Bandankana? That's crazy.
No, it's Baba Booey, dude. Not